Hey guys, Kevin Bupp here, and in this video series, I'm going to share with you the top 10 reasons why parking lots are great investments and why our firm is so bullish on this asset. And so reason number 5, why we love parking investments so much, is the low competition. Now, as I've mentioned on prior videos, parking remains very fragmented. Historically, parking, it's been overlooked as an institutional grade asset class, and what this means to us when we're acquiring assets is that we're not going to be competing against these large national or institutional players, right? The private equity firms of the world, the one that have endless capital and create a lot of demand that drives prices up and cap rates down. There just aren't many investors who are focusing on buying parking lots today, and so that creates this low competition environment, which we're excited about. And even more exciting is there are numerous local, regional, and even publicly traded companies that specialize in the management of parking operations. But the best part about that is there are certainly no publicly traded parking lot asset owners, the ones that actually own the parking lots themselves. The only publicly traded companies that exist are ones that manage them. And so you might ask, why haven't the third-party operators bought up the parking facilities? It's actually, it's an incredible question. It's one that I asked when we first were introduced to the space. And so I'll put it this way. It's really for the same reason that Walgreens chooses not to own its real estate. Walgreens, it's a retail operator which makes its money by selling products, right? Selling prescriptions, beauty products, and toiletries, what have you. They're not in the real estate business, guys. And so they essentially understand what their strengths and their weaknesses are, and they only focus on their core competency. I'd say that the parking niche is very much the same, and that's a reason why the actual management companies typically don't own these assets. To date, the parking niche has flown under the radar, and as with pretty much all other asset classes, the asset ownership in the parking industry will consolidate in the coming years, right? It's inevitable that it's going to happen. And so we were way ahead of the curve in mobile home parks, and we intend to be way ahead of the curve in parking. How about you? You ready to jump on this wagon and actually be ahead of all the larger institutional investors, like be the first to market on something that is incredibly exciting? I bet you are. I am. Parking assets are really similar in their consolidation to what mobile home parks were 10 years ago. And so I like to say that now's the time. But the question is, are you ready to capitalize on this under the radar asset before really the big guys come in and squeeze us little guys out of there? That's typically what happens. It's what happened to mobile home parks. Private equity, institutional guys, they had no interest in mobile home parks 5 or 10 years ago, but now guess what? They're buying up everything they can get their hands on, and it's creating a ton of competition. That hasn't happened yet in parking, but it will sooner or later, and so the time to get in is now. And so with that, guys, that's all I have for now, but if what I shared with you even remotely piques your interest and you want to learn more about parking investments and also potentially how to get started, you can simply click on the link that's in the post. You can download your free ebook, which we just wrote. The ebook's called Parking Lot Profits, the top 10 reasons parking investments generate cash flow and legacy wealth. And with that, guys, that's all I have. I appreciate you watching. I hope it brought a lot of value to you and your business. If it did, please like the video, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. You take care.